Hello and welcome back to the GSMC College Football Podcast, presented to you by the GSMC Podcast Network on this Wednesday, May 28th. Had a good show so far. We're going to keep going. We're going to talk a little bit right now about some 2026 prospects, where they could potentially end up. Some of these guys could really be difference makers too, I think, once they kind of get in the flow of things, once they kind of get in a particular system, get into a college weight room. There's some guys that could be immediate contributors here. One of those dudes, Derrek Cooper. Now, Derrek Cooper, number 12 nationally, according to Rivals, their number one running back. This is a guy that's got really good size for the position, too, at 6'1", 200. Getting a great read on his recruitment right now. Kind of tough. It's getting a little tougher. A lot of major programs are making a serious push at this point. This kid that also just returned back from an excellent visit to Auburn. The Tigers are really trying to push super high into his recruitment. From Hollywood, Florida, goes to Chaminade, Madonna, but it's really a standout there. Gonna head to Miami this weekend, and then going to Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State. Texas is also working currently on getting him to schedule a visit after their Auburn visit that Derrek Cooper just went on. An argument could be made in numerous ways here. Former Chaminade Madonna standout Jeremiah Smith, former high school teammate of Derrek Cooper, obviously is with the Ohio State Buckeyes. However, Derrek Cooper really continued to still show significant interest in both Georgia, and then Miami is doing everything they possibly can right now to keep him home. Kind of seems like they have a slight edge here heading into this kind of next month of visits, having the hometown advantage, and then also I think having the momentum after Jackson Cantwell, the number one recruit in the nation, just committed to the Hurricanes as well. I think those are both factors that kind of give them an advantage here for Derrek Cooper. I think this one is going to be down to the wire right now. But I'm going to say Miami for right now. Derrek Cooper, though, it's certainly possible that this could change pretty quickly. Right now, for what we're saying today, I'm going to go Derrek Cooper. Lands at Miami, becomes a Miami Hurricane. Pairing him with Jackson Cantwell, that number one offensive tackle in the nation, a big guy that he can run behind for the next few seasons. I think Derrek Cooper is going to be a Miami Hurricane. Another good running back to look at is Xavier Crowell. 5'11", 200, so decent size. Guy that's number 41 nationally from Jackson, Alabama. And honestly, right now, it would be a pretty big shocker if Crowell did not commit to Alabama. He's currently got a June 26th commitment date, so we're going to find this out at the end of next month. Texas has also worked really hard here to stay involved with Crowell. Auburn keeps working on him, obviously still being in state. They want him and his teammate and four-star quarterback Landon Duckworth. They share a backfield at Jackson High School in Alabama. Two guys that are incredibly productive. That's a really great backfield, too. Four-star quarterback, four-star running back. But Auburn's really trying to pitch him and Duckworth coming together. Georgia's also in the picture here. It seems, though, that Alabama's really led for a long time. That hasn't kind of seemed to shift or change at all in recent weeks. Crowell also reclassified from 2027 to 2026 and kind of moving up with Alabama always having that lead. It sounds like this should kind of remain the same heading into his decision. I'm going to say Xavier Crowell does stay home and sign with the Alabama Crimson Tide, giving them another big-time running back prospect to potentially kind of help rebuild that run game there for the Crimson Tide. Another guy, KJ Edwards, running back here that's 5'10", 195, 47 overall nationally. A guy that kind of seems like Texas is a front runner right now. Things have gotten a lot more interesting, though, for him in recent weeks. He kind of replaced seeming two that visits that were seemingly throwaways in Baylor and SMU. Let's be honest, he was never going to either of those programs. I think he kind of just had those visits on the schedule. But he did replace those with Alabama and LSU, two programs that are much more likely to be in contention for KJ Edwards' signature on signing day. Texas A&M also kind of battling right now for this kid from East Texas that's a standout, but his relationship with Chad Scott, who's the new Texas Longhorns running back, is continuing to grow. Texas remains the team to beat, maybe by a large margin. Not really sure there, but kind of seems like KJ Edwards right now is going to be a Texas Longhorn in the long run. Another running back in Savion Hitter, number 50 nationally. Kind of a smaller back, 5'11", 180, so a little thinner, a little bit more of kind of a speed back. Kind of opaque here about where Hitter could potentially end up. Michigan had been the long runner for a really long time here. Kind of looked like things were heading in that direction, with Georgia also very much involved. This is a kid from Virginia, so kind of in the middle of the country. Not really a huge geographical bias, I would say there. Tennessee's also surging right now in this recruitment. Volunteers might not be the clear front runner, but things are kind of trending in that direction. And Ohio State also kind of keeps getting in the mix here. So things keep changing for Savion Hitter. Doesn't really have a clear front runner right now. I'm going to say for right now, I think it's Tennessee. I think the Vols have the lead here probably over Michigan, over Ohio State, over Georgia, over some of those other programs. Kind of seems like Savion Hitter could be a really good fit for them. Having to replace Dylan Sampson, not having a ton in that running back room this year, this could be a place in Tennessee where Savion Hitter comes in right away and performs really well for the Volunteers. I think that's something that's very possible. And then another running back I'm kind of looking at is Jay Lamar. Jay Lamar is 6', 200, number 99 nationally, so not as highly ranked as some of these other guys. Auburn and Florida State are kind of making this interesting right now. Clemson seems to be surging a little bit for the kid from Moultrie, Georgia, and Colquitt County. But, again, would be a shocker if Jay Lamar did not end up at Georgia as a Bulldog. They've made him a priority target for a really long time. Georgia running backs coach Josh Crawford also used to coach at Colquitt County, where Jay Lamar is from, and the SEC Power kind of has the edge in his recruitment right now. Clemson could make this pretty interesting because he's visiting there this weekend. Florida State's also less than 90 minutes away, with his former teammate Landon Thomas there as well. So those are two programs that could get in the mix. But I'm going to say the kid from Moultrie, Georgia, stays home, stays a Bulldog. After Georgia has really kind of made him a priority in this cycle, I think it just makes the most sense as a landing spot there for Jay Lamar. So right now, we're going to take our last break of the show. When we come back, we're going to keep marching on with my Big Ten Power Rankings. We're going to talk about teams 6 through 4 today and kind of get closer and closer to those teams who could potentially be pushing for a college football playoff run. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back on the GSMC College Football Podcast.